one of the advantages of living where I do is that the chap at the bottom of the lane where I live is a steam engine aficionado. And because there's a transport festival in town right now, a lot of his mates have come round and they've got steam engines as well. So I'll just show you these for entertainment value. Fantastic. I'm down by the Trent Mersey Canal where I walk my dogs. So you can see there's a bunch of canal boats here, Four Seasons. I love the names of these. Brilliant names they've got. I always want to own a canal boat, but it's very expensive, and I get the sense that it's probably nicer to look at them than it is to own one, because I think you're a bit probably constrained. But I do like them. I like the whole canal thing, really. In fact, I like kind of 19th century technology generally, really. Canal boats and bridges, steam engines, steam trains, looms, the whole Industrial Revolution stuff. And that whole kind of scientific technological society that evolved around that. People like the Lunar Society and Josiah Wedgwood and Joseph Priestley and Erasmus Darwin and all those guys who were completely smitten by that whole technology, who would spend hours of a weekend going out to look at, I don't know, the Anderson boat lift or some miracle of 19th century industrial architecture or something like that. It's just brilliant. I love it. I think one of the reasons I like it, I think I've probably talked about this before actually, it feels very familiar when I'm saying it. I think one of the reasons why I like it is because I think that period, the late 19th century particularly, was probably the last time that technology kind of connected with human scale operation and human scale understanding. Let's see if I can explain what I mean by that. I suppose what I mean is the mechanisms that most of these things are operating by, levers and pulleys and things that float, wheels that turn, the whole kind of basic thermodynamic principles on which these things operate is pretty much the same thing as the human body operates in its grand scale. I don't mean the biochemistry or the electrochemistry of the brain or anything like that, but the scale that we operate, human scale. I'm walking through a landscape here, and the things that are significant for me are things that are about the same size as myself, things like dogs and trees and gates and stiles and that kind of stuff. And I myself as a human being, and human beings in general, have evolved at this scale. We've evolved a cognition that thinks in terms of human scale stuff, a scale at which the technology is the technology of the lever and the pulley and the wheel and the winch and hydraulics and those kind of things. So there's something very visceral and embodied about that. Once you get beyond the 19th century and into different kinds of physics and different kinds of technology, electricity, electromagnetic principles, the technology of the screen particularly, and the CPU, then you've left human scale behind, really. I mean, you can still understand it, but I don't think you're understanding anything like the same way. You're not understanding it by kind of analogy with your body. You're understanding it through mathematics or through equations or through metaphors. So that's the reason why I really like this scale. Up Spirits, Lord Vernon's Wharf. Look at that, isn't that fantastic? Judd, that one's called. Yeah, end of the 19th century, industrial architecture, industrial engineering. That's the last moment when technology was in direct contact with the human spirit. Okay, a few months ago, a YouTube user called Tommy from the Bronx had what he referred to as a tag sale, which means that he was selling some of his stuff off. And most of the stuff he was selling was ceramics, particularly ceramic decanters and Toby jugs, beer steins, those kind of things. And I was really interested in this particular tag sale and these decanters and these ceramics. So a lot of it was either Royal Doulton or Wedgwood or Minton. And why I find that interesting is that those particular ceramic factories are just about 12 miles down the road from where I live in Cheshire, on the borders of Cheshire and Staffordshire. And well, not actually down the road, strictly speaking down the canal, because there's a canal, the Trent and Mersey Canal, which goes just past my house and then goes to the potteries, which is where Stoke-on-Trent and the Royal Doulton factory is and all those kind of things. And then the opposite direction it goes up towards Liverpool. And this was the canal that was used originally to ship the raw materials for the pottery making industry into that area and to ship the final products out. So I was really interested in watching this, watching Tommy from the Bronx, thinking here's this guy who's presumably in the Bronx, 3,000 miles from where I'm sitting, holding up these objects which were pieces of ceramics, pieces of china. It's great stuff. Now I was particularly interested in one piece, because as I say, I'm near the canal which goes to the potteries. I walk my dogs along the canal. I've shot a lot of videos on the canal. In fact, I shot a video on the canal about Tommy from the Bronx when he was doing this tag sale. So I was really interested when he had this object, item 93 in his tag sale, which was a ceramic canal boat. So I got in touch with Tommy and I bought it, and here it is. This is the canal boat, which is, it's actually a decanter. The top comes off. I won't take it off right now, but it is a whiskey decanter with a brand called, hang on, Michter's Whiskey, 86% proof, from original sour mash, Jefferston, Lebanon County, PA. Brilliant. So obviously this particular piece wasn't made in the potteries in Staffordshire, just down the road from where I live, just down the canal from where I live. But it is a canal boat, and so there's this weird circular connection for me between this object, the canal where I walk my dogs, YouTube, Tommy from the Bronx 3,000 miles away, and I don't know, ceramics and travel in the world and all those kind of things. It's a lovely thing, really nice, I really like it. And this is the whiskey that came in it. And it's really, really nice whiskey, I have to say. It's a sour mash whiskey, so it doesn't taste like a Scotch whiskey or an Irish whiskey. It tastes like a bourbon. It's very nice indeed. So I should just say actually that I've only just received this because it was held up at customs. I never thought that customs and excise would be interested in it. So actually, on top of the price that I paid Tommy and the shipping costs, I had to pay an extra 23 quid to get this through customs, which is far more than it's worth. But it doesn't really matter because I really like it. Anyhow, this is the whiskey in here, and it's very nice indeed. So cheers, Tommy. All the best.